A few years ago, we tested some third-party power functions motors from eBay. These had the same form factors as their genuine counterparts and generally produced more power, but perhaps less efficiently. Along with one batch of motors, I also bought a third-party receiver. I wanted to see if it would work with standard power functions transmitters, despite listings suggesting otherwise. Unsurprisingly, it did not. Recently, I bought a third-party transmitter-receiver pair, along with another batch of motors for a different project. I am fairly confident that all of these off-brand parts come from the same factory, so I expected my recently purchased remote to work with my previously purchased receiver, even if they came from different sellers. I bought the second receiver just in case this was not the case. The transmitters look very similar to their genuine counterparts. The Lego part has colors for the left and right channels, and the piece for the emitter dome extends past the channel selector. The sides appear nearly identical, and the backs differ only by the font in the battery compartment. Both devices have the same screwed battery cover, but the third-party part actually comes with a free screwdriver. The receivers look even more similar. The Lego part again has colors for the left and right channels, and it has a glossy receiver dome with a slightly different font for the channel selector. The electrical contacts also have a slightly different shape, and of course, neither of the third-party parts have the Lego logo anywhere. The matte receiver dome on the off-brand receiver hints at what I consider the most crucial difference between the two systems. The power functions system communicates with directed infrared, while the not power functions system does not. That means that these third-party receivers did not need to have line of sight to their transmitters, which can make positioning them in a model much easier. Almost all of my PF train models have had to sacrifice something, mechanical or aesthetic, to accommodate the standard receiver. Otherwise, the not PF system appears to work just like the real thing. The receiver and transmitter are pretty much plug and play, and the transmitter will control any receiver on the same channel. That being said, the knob wheels feel a little stiffer and require more deliberate movements to register a turn, but oftentimes I'm quickly cranking them all the way to or from full speed anyway. For power functions motors, the not power functions system has the same 8 speeds, including stop, as the PF system, and the steps between the speeds seem similar as well. This L motor runs at about 60 RPM at the lowest speed and about 360 RPM at the highest speed. I said for power functions motors because the old 9-volt motors don't seem to get any speed control at all. With the LEGO receiver, a 9-volt geared motor gradually speeds up from 80 RPM to 280 RPM. But with not PF, it jumps straight to 280 RPM. Legacy motors represent a niche use case for sure, but it is something to consider. Also, the channels on the NPF controllers are switched. I don't think this is a problem, but it also isn't readily apparent without the matching color coding. Finally, let's take a look inside the transmitters and receivers. I personally have not seen inside either of these devices, probably because they don't break. Starting with the transmitters, both come apart with just 4 screws, and the internals look about as similar as the externals. The knob mechanisms look identical, but of course the NPF unit has a small antenna, while the PF unit has an infrared emitter. The receivers also come apart with 4 screws, and these differ a bit more on the inside. Most notably, the pins on the NPF unit attach to PCBs, while the pins on the PF unit grab wires directly, much like the contacts on the old 9-volt connectors. I did not want to risk messing up these joints, so I did not remove the main PCB from the PF unit, but I did take a closer look at the one from the NPF unit. I actually wanted to see if I could infer the maximum power output of the NPF receiver. While very faint, I could just about make out the MX512H on the motor drivers, one for each channel, and I found a datasheet, albeit in Chinese. Running this through Google Translate did produce a somewhat readable document. It looks like these drivers can output a continuous 1.4 amps at 6.5 volts, or about 9 watts. This roughly equals the electrical power consumed by 2 first-party L motors, suggesting that these third-party receivers are more like the official V2 than the official V1, something I did not expect. This definitely begs for more testing, especially considering that the average price of a V2 receiver is almost double that of a V1 receiver on Bricklink. On that note, this is the end of the video. Please consider subscribing if you like what we do, and have a nice day.